Education is the backbone of every country. No country can be successful and succeed without its people and its population having a good education. A sound, good education leads you to all the success you can have in your future and world if you are hardworking. Your journey, your destiny and your karma is one thing, but good education is another thing. So today, I deliberately chose my guest in my show Angie's India as Dr. Aseem Chauhan. He has so much education himself, and yet he gave up his private equity passion role to come and grow his vision for giving global education in India and to the world. Amity University today has over 250,000 students globally. It has so many universities in good campuses with the best locations to attract not only the best talent and the global students, but also to show that we are a force to reckon with. We've chosen the right locations, the prime locations in every country, in every city. And today we've made India proud, not only with our institutions in the real estate sphere, but also the students, that we don't only have Indian students studying at Amity University, but also global students. We have all kinds of curriculums. We have partnerships with all different universities, programs, technology, as well as resource centers and research. Not only that, we've also partnered with the government. He's taken India in so many partnerships and collaborations with governments for skilled labor, for skilled people, for corporates who are investing in that, for space programs, and also helping in policy making with FICCI, CII, as well as Niti Aayog. He's also helped in structuring the future of India's global education and domestic education program. Today, I'd like you to meet Dr. Aseem Chauhan. There's so much you can learn about him, and today you have to see where our country has grown from the education it was, the position and the ratings and the percentage it was 20, 25 or 50 years back till today. We all went to school, but the good quality education and a high level education, some of us gained and some of us were deprived of. He brought India to the global stage, and the best programs that even if as a student or as a family you couldn't afford for a child and felt bad that as a parent I can't give my child this education even though I want to, he brought it to India. So today you nearly need to meet this angel who has come to this world to give education to your children and to the world in India, in all the main cities, second cities and the third tier cities, the guardian angel for education which will help your child's growth, Aseem Chauhan. So Aseem, please tell me, how did your journey start?
Well, Angie, well, great to be here, and thank you for having me as part of your program.
And thank you for coming.
The story of Amity, Angie, is really the story of the aspiration of the Indian youth and the unlimited talent that we have in India. And we have to give credit where credit is due. The starting of Amity was really the vision of our founder, Dr. Aseem Chauhan ji, who is my father.
Okay.
And after many decades in Europe and Germany, he had a deep belief that the destiny of a country is deeply tied with the quality of education.
And
we have seen this all over the world, that as any country develops, if you don't have quality manpower driven by high quality education, you can't grow as a nation.
Yes.
And so in 1986, the Amity Education Group Foundation was established. The first institution came up in 1990, which was actually a K-12 school, the Amity International School. And in 1994, we started in higher education with a small campus in Noida, which was a business
Was that
school.
the first Amity?
That was the first beginning of Amity.
Okay.
But there was always a dream from the beginning that it is not only an institution that we are building as a family, but our founder said we have to create a movement and move the needle to provide quality education for every child in the country.
Yes.
Because if you recall, a few decades back,
Yes.
there was always the question of, how will my child get into higher education?
Yes.
The cutoffs, as you know, for IIT, the competition,
Yes.
for the government universities, the cutoffs were, 99%, 98%.
Right.
Now, that was a big disservice to the children of
Yes.
the country.
Yes.
At that time, there were no private universities. And we had seen around the world the model of private contribution in a non-profit mode for higher education, and we thought if countries abroad can have this model, why can't we build that for India?
Can you elaborate on that? What exactly was that model, and then you implemented it here?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at, for example, the Ivy League universities in the US, you look at the Harvard, the Stanfords, the Princeton, the Yales, they are based on a model of private contribution coming, and not only government contribution, but private capital coming into higher education to promote it. The model of autonomous private universities in our country is relatively a short journey. When we first came out with this first Amity University, there were actually in Noida, there were actually no private universities here. Today we have 400 private universities in the country. And a lot of the question of access to higher education, if you look at education broadly, we talk about access, equity and quality. These are three pillars. How many students can we provide education to? How fair are we in allocating that education? And then is the quality commensurate to the best in the world? When we first started, the gross enrollment ratio, which is basically the number of students in higher education, vis-a-vis how many total number of students there are that should be eligible for higher education, was around 12%. Today, because of the good work done by many people and a supportive ecosystem by the government and the leadership of our nation, today the GER ratio is at about 27%.
That's today, in 2025.
Correct.
When you started the first Amity University, what was it then?
It was about 12%.
12%, okay.
But we as a nation have a dream that in the next 10 to 15 years, that should be 50%. Which means we need to bring 45 million, which is 4.5 crore more students, into the gamut of higher education. Which is a great challenge for any country. If you look at global markets, if you look at developed countries, that ratio is about 80-90%. So it's a big challenge for us to even reach 50%, and I'll talk more later about how we dream to achieve that. But you have asked about the journey. So, after that initial beginning,
because I find, the reason I asked about the journey was because everybody only talks of the success when it's arrived, and nobody knows the struggle and how to put the whole thing together. It's very difficult, and how, of course, we know education is the backbone of our country. And you've been a champion in making our country proud at my show Angie's India, and that's what I was really keen. So if you tell me, how did it start from 12% to this percentage? How did you grow? And how did others in a smaller way, not as great as yours, come in as well?
Perfect. So after our first university was established, we thought that there are diverse needs across the country. And today, Angie, we are 13 universities in different parts of the country. Along with K-12 schools, we have 40 campus locations across the country. But there was a further thought that, why can the Indian talent not go abroad and take the flag of India around the world?
Exactly.
So we talk today about, will foreign universities come into India? And they will. But even before that conversation started, we said we will take the Indian flag and the Amity flag all over the world, so that we can create global citizens. Because we have a firm belief, and as you have pointed out, I have spent a lot of time abroad, our family has, and we have seen the experience and the learning of being in other markets, learning, intercultural skills, learning by travel is so important. So today we have 18 campuses in different parts of the world. We are the biggest University of Dubai. We have 5 schools in the UAE. We are in Singapore and London, in Tashkent and Kenya and South Africa. In Amsterdam, we have a school.
In Amsterdam as well?
In Amsterdam, absolutely.
Okay, and how big is that school in Amsterdam?
It's a wonderful international school. And we went there on the invitation of the mayor of Amsterdam, who said that
that's something really a huge honor for them to want you there.
Yeah, absolutely, because they felt they wanted the Netherlands to be a global capital for multinationals to come and establish. But despite all tax incentives, families were not staying because the children were not adjusting into the local education system. So they wanted to bring international schools from around the world where families would be comfortable. And after a global scan, the mayor himself came and invited us. But like that, we're also in New York, in San Francisco, And the idea is, can we provide opportunities for student mobility, faculty exchange, research engagements globally, so that we can show the great talent of India and bring the best practices from around the world towards here also. So that is today the footprint. And to answer the question of 12% to 27% of gross enrollment ratio, which is a national ratio.
Yes.
And how do we get to the 50%?
Yes.
The answer to that, Angie, is in another area, which is technology-enabled education and online education. So we are today also the largest online degree provider in the country.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of students, and sometimes mature students, because education should be lifelong learning. Why only limit to 18 years to 24-year-olds as our mental model for higher education? So we say lifelong one can learn. And this question of employability, you must have heard that everyone's talking about employability.
Yes.
How can we create employability for that person who, because of family circumstance, had a diploma, couldn't finish a degree, but had to go to work to support the family? Or someone who had an undergraduate degree, but didn't have time to do a master's because of compulsions. Why not give them the opportunity to upgrade, to keep, building on their abilities and create a better life for them? So online degrees and online education is providing the opportunity to reach the unreached, or those who can't come to traditional education, or who just want to learn on the side while they're working, or with their families, taking care of children. And I think that is a democratizing factor in opening up opportunities apart from bricks and mortar to a much bigger market.
So to achieve 50%, we're going to adopt the route of online?
No, it'll be a combination. It'll be a combination. I think the one mistake that sometimes people make when they talk about higher education, and I see it at conferences and meetings and brainstorming sessions, everyone says, what is the answer to higher education? Everyone seems to feel there is one answer. And the truth is that for a country as diverse and large as India, there is not one answer. There are many solutions, because we have to provide the answer that is right for a particular demographic, for a particular age, for a particular person. So we will keep creating, like we are doing, large bricks and mortar research and innovation oriented universities. And I'll speak about this a little bit more. Because this is going to be one of the answers for what we have to do as a nation. There will be colleges, there will be vocational training institutes. That is also another important part, skilling and vocational training, which in our country, while important, has not yet got the right impetus. We can talk about why that is also. And layering on top of that, there will be online and technology-enabled education that will both be independent and in hybrid mode with bricks and mortar. There are a number of different kind of models that will address. So to get to 50% of GER in the country, gross enrollment ratio, is online the only answer? No. It'll be in parallel with many other models, but it certainly will be one of the answers. Otherwise, we can't reach the scale.
So is it going to be some integration with the skill development ministry as well in this, or just it's related with people who have CSR activities and are skilling other, their own hometowns or their plants in various states? Is that?
Yeah, so let's talk about skilling and vocational training. The ministry is very supportive, and they have done an excellent job in providing many schemes that are there to support different sectors. The sector skill councils, for example, the SSCs that have been developed in a lot of different areas. Those are providing specialized expertise in curriculum and outreach, both to private party, government centers, ITIs, to provide industry-oriented expertise into different sectors. But the problem with skilling and vocational training in our country is that we are a highly aspirational country. Families that otherwise should be focused on a diploma or vocational training still want that engineering degree.
That's
so
true.
Sometimes you overstretch and say, no, bete ko diploma nahi karwana, beti ko diploma nahi karwana.
We want that graduate.
We want that engineering
degree.
So that sometimes does a disservice. So, Angie, we're talking about vocational training and skills, which is a very important component of our country, because without the right skills, many of the sectors that need to be developed in the country will not be. The problem is that we are a very aspirational country. Families that should be potentially focusing on providing a certificate or diploma for their ward, still aim for that engineering degree, a BTech or something like that.
Right.
Because everyone wants the best, and they will sacrifice everything. They will give up so much of the share of wallet of the family to put someone in the engineering degree, where really first a diploma and then a job may be better. In countries like Germany, where we have experience, the vocational trained student, what we may call a blue collar worker, gets absolutely the same dignity of labor and respect as a degree holder and someone who is working in the corporate world. So I think it is this perception and this view that you could be a plumber, but if you're a great plumber, you're as valuable as someone sitting in a corner office. I think that if we develop in our country over time,
the value for the profession,
the value of the profession, the value of skill, the value of someone supporting. So this will over time develop. But today, that is the reason why skills and vocational training have been a little bit on the back foot. But it's a very important area for us to build on.
And maybe you'll only take it forward in some way or the other.
Well, already we're doing a lot of it. We have incredible initiatives in the area of skills. And I'll just give you an example. We are working with one ministry to train workers on how to assemble and put solar panels on the roofs, because solar is an important area for the country. So that is a high income job, and we are training them then not only to do that skill, but how to become entrepreneurs, how to build a company out of it, how to create a livelihood out of it. So I think overall, if you take that ecosystem of how can you create livelihoods out of skills, that is one area that we are very much focused on. And we look at really the whole gamut of from certification to diplomas to degrees, lifelong learning.
Okay. You also mentioned when this conversation started that your universities are in many countries. So whether it's Kenya, whether it's Singapore. So today, a lot of the kids go to Singapore to study. Now, when you already have such a good and prestigious university as Amity in Singapore, do you think the ratio of Indians sending their children there is going to reduce gradually over a period of years?
Well, look, our campuses abroad, and we are not only focused on students from India. In fact, at our campus in Singapore, for example, which is on Orchard Road, we have a beautiful tower.
The best locations you have.
Yeah, we have more than 50 nationalities. There are students, coming from all over the world. From the Europeans, the Central Asian students, ASEAN students. In Dubai, we have 50 nationalities. They're coming from all over the world. Yes, there is a percentage of students from India, but it's, I would say not more than 15% and maybe even less than that. So we want to create diverse, multicultural environments for learning for these markets. But many of our students can go there for a study abroad program. They can go for, let's say, a few weeks. They can go for a semester.
Oh, that's nice.
And they go, and then that learning by travel. Then they get that exposure, which is very important. And in a market like Singapore, for example, it is not only Amity University certification that we are giving, but also we have partnered with the best in the world to provide their degrees and certificates. For example, we are working with the University of London, providing their degrees in Singapore, Johns Hopkins University, and like that, a number of global partners that through our platform and through our more than 300 global partnerships that we have with 300 universities around the world, can partner with us at any of our global locations to offer their degrees there. So
the degrees will be offered by them, but the campuses would be yours?
The campus and faculty are ours.
Faculty would be yours.
Yes, but
that's a very good.
So for a student, let's say from Indonesia, for a student from, let's say, the UK who wants to be in Singapore or is already in Singapore, is looking for an option. They don't have to then pick that I'll get an Indian degree. They can pick, do I want an Australian degree, a British degree, an American degree, or an Indian degree or certificate. And we can even combine modules from each one. And that is the future of education. How do you innovate to provide the best for any particular student? So that's, and so a lot of students who want to go international study abroad, even through your university, I think some of them go for loans, and they need some financial support. So I saw that you also, and I've read a lot about it, that you also have fund and a lot of students who need some help in that sphere. Absolutely. And
so this was to what ratio can they expect they can ask like your division to help them?
It's a great question, Angie. And really our philosophy
Because parents need support, and some of them can through their jobs and all support, and some cannot.
100%.
So what is the difference in your giving them capital support versus a bank or another financial institution?
I'll tell you the difference. The difference is our philosophy as a foundation, as a group, from day one has been, Angie, that if a child is brilliant, but they can't afford it, we will give them full scholarship. So we don't give them a loan on interest basis. We say no. If a child is brilliant and we see they cannot afford it, we have scholarship programs, and we may have potentially the largest scholarship program in the country on the private side, where we are getting students 100% scholarship or partial. It could be 50%, 75%, 25%, depending on need. But we have tens of thousands of children studying with us on scholarship. And when you see their gratitude later in life, and they say, I could never have gotten this quality of education, but because of the Amity Group scholarship policy. And this, actually, this vision also came from our founder early on, who said, in a country like India, if we don't provide support financially to those families who need it, then what good are we doing? So this is a very different philosophy from many other groups. And I feel very emotional about all these children that come from all different backgrounds, but they are getting high quality education equivalent to
anywhere
any
in the
wealthy
world,
family anywhere in the world, and doing so very well afterwards. And they are the ones who later on come back. And then they say, what can I do for my alma mater? How can I give back? What support can I
really
provide?
nice,
Which is great. Apart from that, I must also mention, because you have asked this question, that we also have chains of schools for underprivileged children who we provide 100% free education. So for example, for
does this come under your CSR or something, or does it come under
no, it comes within our foundation.
With your foundation.
It comes within our foundation.
Okay.
And because being a foundation, CSR does not apply to us in the same way that it does for a corporate structure. But we do it as a foundation, and we are educating thousands and thousands of girls from underprivileged backgrounds who would have had a very bleak future, but they get education. And our mother, Dr. Aseem Chauhan said from the beginning, if you educate a girl child, you're educating two families, and you're creating a future for two families.
Because the husband's family.
Yes, because the husband's family. And so therefore, that initiative was called Amitasha, after our mother. It was her dream to provide these educational opportunities for the poorest girls. Yes. And similarly like that, we do it for boys also.
Oh, that's such a nice thing. I mean, I think very few people, I'm not sure how much in depth people know that you have all these schemes to support, people who are underprivileged and they have some financial issues to get education and are very bright, as well as the women or the girls, young girls.
Actually, those who are benefiting very well know.
Yes.
But it's not something, we always speak about. Because I think, one should always, provide service quietly and humbly. And, we are doing this.
So, you also, I've seen all your universities, as you said, in Singapore, you have it in a prime location, and so as well as in New York, you have in Long Island. How come all your universities, most of them, if not all, are in the best locations? Because real estate also has a charge, and you've also, it's like a landmark. If you have Amity University somewhere, as you said, the station is named. So that's something, again, huge. And for our Indian university to be on one of the, the Met stations or the train stations in Long Island. And Long Island is not some small town in America. It's like one of the main, like the NCRs of Delhi.
You're right, Angie. So we have 175 acres.
So how did you choose the strategy of getting the best locations?
So we want to build campuses where our students feel proud. If you are enrolled there. And location is important because
India is proud. Students.
We want India to be proud. We want our students to be proud. We want to create an example of what an Indian group can establish, and that there's no shortcut in it. We want to not only compete, we want to be better than what any global group can do in that local market. So you're right, in that 175-acre campus that we have on Long Island, the train station is marked Amity Education Group. And what we are doing there, Angie, which will be of interest to your viewers, is we always think, what can we do in collaboration?
That's the best thing.
How can we join hands? How can we collaborate with the best in the world to provide educational opportunities to a global audience. So we as a partner have the Harrow School from the UK. The Harrow School, people know Eton Harrow as two of the most prestigious schools, 450 years old, you know, alumni of 18 prime ministers, royal families. And we have partnered with the Harrow School, not only to bring them to India. So we have started Harrow in Bangalore as one of the most prestigious schools of the country now. But we're also taking the Harrow School to New York. An Indian group partnering with a UK brand and to bring them into the New York market, one of the largest and most competitive markets in the world, to be pegged alongside the best boarding schools in America. It is sometimes people ask, what kind of model is this? But we really want to do
partnerships
things
and
with partnerships and to do what people would think impossible. Because that is how we'll inspire the next generation of our students to really think out of the box.
So, from what I hear, your father had such a great vision, and like, how did you take it forward? He set these paths which are like unbelievable for anyone who would have thought in that time. And India would even reach halfway here, which you have been so good as a son and as a family to take it all forward. How would you plan the next phase now? You have schools, you have partnerships sorted, you have India, the best locations in universities and your programs. What are all the programs you carry out in all these universities?
So the programs are, very broad. So more and more higher education programs, Angie, are interdisciplinary. And from day one, we have thought about not only the traditional programs, anyone can offer the basic programs, but how can we offer programs that are forward-looking, that are industry integrated,
or profession.
We have partnered with industry. As an example, we have partnered with the Tata Group to offer high-end engineering programs where they come in and they help establish the labs, they send faculty. So it becomes a very employability, focused program where the best of industry is coming in. Like that, we have a number of industry integrated programs where the input from industry through either case studies or lab establishment or faculty is coming in directly. So the future will be, and you say that we have come a long way, and thank you so much for saying that, but really we feel there is so much more to do. Because for a country like India, really it is just the beginning of the transformation and the revolution that has to happen in education. And that first step was there, which was the most important one. And now the implementation of how do we bring the quality, how do we bring the right industry partnership, how do we bring research and innovation. And this is one of the areas where historically we as a country, Angie, have been somewhat weak, but it's now developing, is the research and innovation aspect of higher education. And we strongly believe that the role of a university has to be to build new bodies of knowledge, to create ways for the university to impact society. And one of the best ways of doing it is by creating intellectual property and then helping commercialize that for societal good. So if today we have filed as a group 2,500 patents, it's something which even a few years ago was unimaginable. And it is with the thought that if we create this IPR and through technology transfer, through spin-offs, startups, both from students and faculty and researchers and scientists, then we can have an impact. And we have learned this time and again from the best universities in the world. So,
so having everything as an intellectual property.
To have high-end research, to have high-end research, and to have the thought of how can we translate that research into impact. That is one area that we have really focused on. But then also to have, and this is where the government has been supportive, to have hundreds of government-funded projects in project mode, where they provide funding on particular areas of national importance. So their research is happening. And then having high-end publications and publications not only in Indian journals but global journals to then further the knowledge that a university is creating. So these are some of the areas.
So this is supported by the government in some sectors.
The research funding is. Other things is supported by the university itself. But yes, the government is, and now the government has proposed the National Research Foundation, which we are very happy about. This is a new initiative to further galvanize the thought that more funding can be given to researchers across the country in the public sector and the private sector for research that is important for national priorities, and we are very delighted to hear this. So apart from research, then innovation.
Right.
So today we have incubators and accelerators across our universities. In fact, I'm happy to share that as of late we have been ranked as one of the top incubators in all of Asia by the Asian Incubator Association. So we are incubating 1,000 startups at any one time. Through a funding arm, we have funded about 100 of those startups. But many VC funds, HNIs are coming forward to fund our startups. So the idea is, as a university network, can we provide research, develop intellectual property? Can we support startups?
And
can we have, because if we can create students who
you can give jobs both ways.
Exactly.
Employment.
Exactly. That, not only people who are looking for a job, but if we can have people who are graduating and creating thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs, then we are multiplying the impact.
Right.
And that is sort of the direction that we are going.
Right. So basically you've set up like a circle from funding to education to supporting skilled education and programs, and you're able to fund it and give employment through that as well to the country.
Exactly.
So it's a complete circle.
Yeah, it is the full ecosystem.
Yes.
And the full ecosystem also in terms of life cycle. So we have at the earliest age preschools within the group. The child can come in at 18 months.
Yes.
Go through K-12 schools, go through undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD, they can do postdoctoral work, or in a job, they can continue online for lifelong learning. And then when they have children, they also come back to us very often. So we have had multiple generations of families that have gone through our cycle.
Okay.
And that is how we feel holistically we can think about it. Plus the research part, the entrepreneurship part, all as one holistic ecosystem.
Okay, so now when you said research, my mind was working already. AI and ChatGPT and all these new age things have come.
Correct.
Now you have, does it come in the way of research? Because today I'm finding in our own offices as well, every time you tell somebody to come up with a new idea, they open ChatGPT. You ask them for a spelling, they open ChatGPT or the AI. And sometimes I find that's very unreal because that's not knowledge, you're killing your knowledge.
Right. Yeah.
I remember when I was in college in New York at FIT, and there were other programs besides my interior design program. The professor asked somebody a very silly question. And I shouldn't be saying this on this show actually. What is 15 into 4? I still have not forgotten that. I have still not forgotten that 20 years later. And all these American kids did not know how to say. And I said 60. And they could not say that. And that's when I realized that these guys, we are far more educated as Indians than they were even 20 years back. Okay, now times have changed 20 years later, of course. So will AI come in the way of actual research and growth of minds in even students or mid-age students? So what do you feel?
No, it's a fundamental question, and it's such an important question
because
everything is changing.
It's changing and we're living in a different world.
Correct.
So you've done all this great goodwill of doing everything and setting it up. And now comes this new thing called AI and ChatGPT and everybody wanting to do this cut-paste method of work.
Yes.
So
no. It's a broad topic, but let me just crystallize.
But it's quite important
It's absolutely. It is maybe one of the most important things to talk about today.
Yes.
Because so many sectors, if not all sectors, are going to be dramatically different. And education is no different. Education will look totally different. To answer the one specific question that you asked is, will research be hampered by AI? The answer is no. I think, AI will be a great tool to be able to do a lot of research much more quickly. There will be research in areas of AI, how we can implement, AI in different areas of research and get results much faster. We can leverage, manpower in a much more efficient way. But we will have to think about how education will change. And already there are, some incredible changes happening. The first thing I'll tell you is one thing you said is also right, that will it make us weaker? That because everyone's relying on ChatGPT.
You have a mind, but now you're not going to apply it, even if you have it.
I recently asked some of our students, who amongst you for your latest assignment used ChatGPT? 100 students in the room, all bright students, and they all raised their hand. Every one of them had used ChatGPT. And then I asked, how many of you feel you learned less because you used ChatGPT? And all hands went up. They said, yeah, we acknowledge maybe we would have learned more. So, the answer for me is not to ban ChatGPT. If you say you cannot use the tool, no matter how much anti-plagiarism software you have, you can guide them for some projects, maybe not to use it, but if you try to ban it. So we as educators have to now become much better at thinking about assessment. And I think assessment will be very important. How are we testing knowledge? What do our examinations look like?
Yes.
What do our projects look like?
Exactly.
And can we help make our students ready in a world that AI will exist? Can we make them ready to use the tools to be better? And here is the other thing. Research is proving that those people who are learning how to use AI will be more productive than anyone else, except in one scenario, if that tool is taken away from you. So if you learn to use that crutch, you better have that crutch in the future, because it can be a great tool. You will definitely be a more productive worker if you know how to use the tools. But then that tool should be pervasive and available. Otherwise, without it, like that student in the US, without a calculator,
he couldn't calculate,
they couldn't get to that 60. Similarly, if you take one of these tools away, then you may not know exactly how to do the research manually or otherwise. But in my view, I think this is something which is here to stay. The genie is out of the bottle. It is now almost impossible
to stop it,
to put it back, and if anything, the rate of change will accelerate. So we as educators can't be scared of it. We have to embrace it.
But when you do programs on Google and ranking and online, which online courses and online degrees, ChatGPT and AI-based content is not ranked.
Yeah. So, that is true.
And that is like, if you're writing something on a non-online basis or a presentation, it can work very well.
Yeah.
And someone will be very impressed.
Yes.
But when you go through Google, they don't rank it.
Yeah.
So how is that catch-22? Because you're in the education industry. That's why I'm asking this, because this is a very important thing, and people need to, whoever's going to hear you with all your expertise, they need to know that it's not the easy way out.
Yeah. Actually, no, if you want to be a Google ranked scholar, you know what you're talking about, then you would hope and you would assume that that researcher is doing genuine work. Otherwise, why even try to get in the ranking? And not everything can be answered through ChatGPT. Actually, high-end research requires a lot of creativity, framing problems, analyzing data in different ways, and then how to present it, drawing conclusions. So, and worst case scenario, there are plagiarism softwares that you can run. The first version could not catch if it's AI generated. Now, the next generations are catching it. Then students got wise. They could get around that system. But now the softwares are improving. So at the end of it, you have to also have the belief that there are genuine people who want to learn.
Right.
And if we say, look, you can use this tool, but also always mention that I have used this. Put it in your footnotes.
It's better to, that's better, that it's clear.
And know that if it's mentioned, then assessors know how to look at a particular piece of work in a different light.
Right.
The other thing is, we, for example, at our university have one of the highest end AI research centers with a high-end throughput computer, now reaching 60 petaflops, where government agencies are working with us on projects where they are wanting to put high amount of data to be analyzed at our AI centers. So for example, with ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, this past December 30th, the first biological experiment ever to go into space went from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh. It was the PSLV C-60 rocket that went up. And that biological experiment was an Amity experiment.
Oh, wow.
So we worked on this for about 5 years and developed an experiment on how, when we have a space station from India, we are, the government, as per Honorable Prime Minister's announcement, we are planning the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, which will be an Indian space station. How will we feed our astronauts in space?
Oh.
So can we provide agriculture in space to grow plants? So we sent a spinach callus into space. Now there was a lot of AI component in that experiment also. How do you measure through sensors and cameras the input of that growth of that spinach callus, 250 kilometers up, traveling at 25,000 kilometers an hour around space. So AI, without AI, it would be very difficult to do.
Yes.
And now we are talking to ISRO around space debris. That there are trillions of data points around how much debris there is in space. Without
So
AI,
that research is happening.
yes,
at
that
your,
we are
okay.
looking at doing this together. That can we analyze space debris to make space flight, satellite launches more safe. So these are the kind of research areas that AI can greatly catalyze and even enable, without which you can't even think about analyzing that amount of data.
So again, you have a collaboration or partnership or
Yes.
some synergy with the government in this.
Oh, 100%. We really enjoy working with our government partners. So we are maybe one of the few education groups in the country that has umbrella MOUs with a number of government departments. So
Right.
may it be DRDO, may it be Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, ICAR, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, the Indian Council of Medical Research. All these agencies each have many labs, 30 labs, 40 labs, 50 labs. We have an agreement that our scientists can talk to any one
Right.
of the labs and their scientists.
Right.
Because there is a realization that together we are better.
Right.
That when we put our minds together from the private sector
Right.
and government institutions,
Right.
we can together achieve better goals for the country.
Right.
And that the intent is genuine.
Okay.
That is when they come to you.
Okay.
So we're very thankful to all these government agencies and labs that
Right.
believe that a group like Amity can contribute to their mission also.
That's really amazing that you've even now partnering with them in this venture.
Yes,
You've also been very well affiliated with the CII and the FICCI and the Niti Aayog.
Yes.
What were your contributions in those, those policy-making bodies?
Right. So look, policy is very important. And again, if you want to be thoughtful about where education is going, you have to listen very closely to industry. Because without the latest changes, what's happening in industry, you cannot update your curriculum. You cannot have the latest pedagogy.
Right.
You cannot have the programs and the modules that are required to create employable workers for the future. So yes, we work with a large number of the federations and associations. With CII, we have established the CII School of Logistics.
Oh,
At
logistics.
Amity University.
Okay.
So it might be the first time CII has established an institution, at a university
university.
to create manpower for the logistics sector. I have been on the National Executive Committee of FICCI for a few years. Really enjoyed listening to industry and the leaders in that regard. And with Niti Aayog, which is of course an amazing body, I've been on a number of committees for employment generation, economic acceleration. And it's just a way that we can contribute by ideas sharing. Because there's so many great people as part of Niti Aayog, and you were mentioning Amitabh Kanchi that
Yes.
you have interviewed earlier,
Yes,
who is
we had
a
him,
great thinker for the country. And all the people associated with that organization, their mission is how can we make India better? And we align with that completely.
So you've been working with the government since the last few years, or from the time you started when you came back?
No, I would say from day one.
From day one, you needed this.
No, I'll tell you why. Because, the education sector rightfully is a regulated sector. If you want to establish a university in the country, it has to be done through legislature,
yes.
state legislature. You pass an act. It has to go through assembly.
Go through the whole process.
Governor has to,
Yes.
sign off, and then even after that, there's statutory bodies reviewing the development and progress of a university, may it be the University Grants Commission,
Right.
or the different bodies that look at verticals within education, the Bar Council of India for Law, Council of Architecture for Architecture,
You have to go
Farmers
through
Council
all
of
these,
India.
yes.
So you have
All
to
the
be in
programs.
close touch with your partners who help you to look at trends, who
Right.
help monitor quality in the country. So I think this partnership with government is something very dear to us. And we feel it's an important part of our mandate.
Just one small question. There are government secondary schools, and where we send some of our employees or domestic staffs, kids and all. And then there are private schools which have come up, and then there are like the modern schools of our times which were there. And now there are the Amity universities and Amity schools, and few smaller, I think, other competitors or people in this have come up in the similar space. Of course, not as big as yours, and who've like made this whole huge institution. So, how would you divide the level of education in all these?
Yeah. So look, these are evolving trends.
Yes.
There used to be a time when, as a nation, we had many more students studying in the government schools than in private schools. In fact, the option, primary option for a family would have been, let me send a child to a government school. As you very well know from your experience, that has somehow changed a little bit.
Right.
That for many families, a private school education, is a preferred choice. Although some of the government schools are doing well, but some government schools are not doing so well. Across the country,
Yes.
where there is a shortage of teachers or resources or facilities. There have been a number of programs that, in PPP mode, one can work together to improve government schools. Private parties can help in that regard also. But by and large, although there are a larger number of government schools than there are private schools, the percentage of students studying in private schools is now much greater than in government schools.
Yes.
I think both are important. I think all state governments, because education is a concurrent subject,
yes.
so it is both regulated from the center, but every state actually has a lot of policies around their education systems. So I think the policies to improve government schools is very important. And the policies on how do we keep expanding private schools and expanding that is equally important.
Do you see Amity University or Amity schools in second and third tier cities in India?
Yes, absolutely. In fact,
is that the coming plan sometime?
Yeah, not only a coming plan, but today we have universities in places like Gwalior. We have a university in Raipur. We have a university in Patna. We have a university in Ranchi.
Right.
Why? Because everyone thinks to be in Delhi and Bombay and Bangalore and Hyderabad. It is glamorous. It is good.
But it's also expensive for them to come to another city and their parents.
It is expensive for them. Everyone, would like for their state to develop, and there is tremendous growth happening across the country. It is one of the things that really excites me about what's happening in India.
Right.
That you go to a place like Raipur and you see the tremendous economic development. You see the aspiration of the people. It is no longer that I have to go to Bombay to make a career. But these cities are developing. I see it.
Very bright people.
Very bright students. And sometimes they want to be in their home state. They have a great affection for the home state. So I'm seeing it across the country that our tier 2, tier 3 cities are going to tremendously develop. And one of the key things will be, can we provide education closer to home?
Yes.
That people don't have to leave their hometown.
Yes, because they'll get education at, I think it'll be a little more economical, because the parents don't have to bear the cost of sending them to a boarding school or pay for their boarding and stay and everything here.
Yeah. It is economical, but also, Angie, there is a emotional connect you have to your home place.
Yes.
And out of compulsion, you may go and travel and live somewhere else for opportunities, jobs. But if you could be near your family, if you can be in your hometown, and
that's a different bond.
It's a different bond. You feel closer to home. You feel happier near your roots. And I'm seeing this absolutely, that there are a lot of people who don't necessarily want to go to a big city, but want to be, but they want to have the same opportunities back home.
So is it going to be just like solely Amity, or with maybe some partnership with the government or some international institution?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you.
Since now I know you're all about partnerships and doing it really well, and getting the best out of each individual one.
Yeah, no, but let me also say that, we, as the Amity Group, are making a small contribution in a humble manner, but equally there are so many other hundreds of people who are doing wonderful work in education. And it's really, it is the rising tide that will lift all boats. So I commend all educators, all teachers who are working day and night to make the opportunities available for students across the country. A lot of private groups, many of them friends, and many of them that we admire from far. So I think as a group, as a nation, we need many people, many groups, all aligned with the right intent. And if the intent is right, if the effort is genuine and sincere, then there's room for many, many more players in this particular sector.
Great. So, I mean, I think it's been really, really insightful. I'm going to ask you a few personal things. You got married at what age? And you were, I guess, abroad when you got married?
No, I got married at 31.
Okay.
I got married in India.
Arrange or?
To a wonderful,
yes, I know
very
Divya.
Indian lady, and
she's lovely.
Could not be more impressed with her. She is, she has all the family values. She has her own foundation. She runs her institutions, and she is part of our joint family. We are a big joint family.
Yes.
We are a number of siblings that we live together. Our 3 chachas and their families, we all live together.
Oh, okay.
We every day have havan at home.
Oh, really?
So as a family, because we say if you pray together, you stay together.
Stay together.
So we are a value-based family that believes in harmony.
Oh,
and
that's
all
great.
working together.
That's really great in today's day in India.
Yeah.
And how do you divide your work in different parts of the, like in Amity, which each one looks after another different division?
Yeah, no, everyone has a role to play, and we say it's always a team effort. So there are a few of us that are more on day-to-day at the helm, but everyone has a role to play. And apart from the education side, we have different businesses within the family. So may it be plastic components, pharmaceutical, technology transfer.
Diversified into
they are less known because they are more B2B businesses. But within that, we have family members allocated across the group. Everyone has one mission.
Okay.
How can we uplift the country?
And that's what you've really done. So, I mean, I think I'm really, really happy because I know education is the backbone of the country. And without good education, nothing can happen.
Right.
Because I remember when I went to study, my first semester at FIT doing my architecture, I realized that the level of interior architecture education, I told you that at the dinner the other day, was not up to the mark. I used to have to work till 6 in the morning. And then only after my second semester was I at that level. But because our education in India at that time was not at that level, it's okay, you managed your admission, but then what?
Right.
Yeah, so it's great, and I'm going to ask you a little rapid fire now because I know we are running short of time. So I'm going to ask you education in Amity, education in America, or Harvard, going to Harvard?
For whom? It depends for whom. So it just, for me personally, I would say education at Amity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then university. You've set up this whole university and so many more branches all over, or a career in private equity or banking.
Yeah. As you know, I was in private equity. I did venture capital.
That's why
I did my time in New York, and I gave it all up. I was being promoted to be a more senior member of the company, and that same day I resigned because I encourage everyone, our students also, to think about what is your mission in life. So many people go through life and they are running in that mill, and many people don't stop to ask what is it for. They want a job, then they want the next job, then they get married, then they have to worry about school children, then they want a bigger car, they want a bigger house, and before you know it, the music is ready to stop. So I encourage everyone to stop and think, what is your broader mission in life? What will make you happy? And for me, it was clear. Private equity, you can make a lot of money for yourself and others, but in education, you can have an impact and leave a legacy and have a deeper impact on students and children, much more.
If you were living today, would you prefer to be doing hardcore education at Amity or learning through AI and all its tricks?
Yeah, I love building. I love building, so maybe using AI to build, but
going back to the original drawing board.
Yeah, I just love building in any which way, through AI or not, but creating and building is something that I'm passionate about.
A holiday in south of France or America?
South of France or America? Okay, in this regime, let's say south of France. Yeah.
Okay. Educating kids in second cities or third cities, or in the US or other parts of the world?
Yeah,
if you had to choose, if you had only so much funds to expand, where would you?
Second or third tier cities in India
in
or
India
abroad?
Or overseas? Yes.
Always here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what would be your vision now in the next 10 years for Amity after this? And how would you position India as an global education player, which will be like one of when you talk to G20s or the top 5 countries forming policies of education? How would you position Amity and yourself?
Well, let me talk about the country first. I think India is poised to become one of the if not the most important country when it comes to higher education and research and skills. There'll be a time when with the aging demographics of countries around the world, may it be Europe, may it be Japan and Korea, may it be so many other countries, it is the demographic dividend and the younger manpower that we have that will be sent all around the world to take on jobs and skills that others are not able to do.
Right.
So equally, as we continue on this path of economic development, as we become a richer country with more opportunities and jobs and resources, there will be people that will come from all around the world to pursue education in India. So we will, over time, not become a net exporter where our students are going abroad, but you will see students from all over the world, and not only South Asian countries or African countries, but from all over the world. They will come to study in India and work in India because they will see higher growth and opportunities, a kinder society, nicer people, and a better lifestyle than they can have anywhere else in the world. And we at Amity are preparing for this.
So it's going to be like an education tourism here.
Yeah,
a boom in education tourism.
I think there will be.
India keeps talking about medical tourism, but looks like there'll be an education tourism thanks to you and Amity University.
Yeah, no, there were already medical tourism.
Is already there. Yes.
I think there will be education tourism, and not only education tourism, but education tourism and employment also of the best experts around the world coming here. And Amity will definitely be a part of it.
Yes,
but there'll be many more people that we will partner with to make it happen.
Yes, but so coming to the last question, there's one. Which day do you feel Harvard University or all the Ivy Leagues, which we all like to send our children, and where we all aspire to be at some point. And I think you went to an Ivy League yourself, right?
That's right.
Yes, and FIT is also considered an Ivy League in one of the
in your area, absolutely.
Yes. So when do you feel that they will decide to put their bases here?
Yeah.
We've put our stamp there thanks to Amity University. When will they come to India as their brand and ask you for help to set up here?
No, already, Angie, as you know, there is a lot of discussion around foreign universities coming to India, and over time, many will come. And I fully encourage this, move because, and we have been part of this dialogue for many years, because the more opportunities we have, the more programs, the more backgrounds that we can provide to our students to choose from, the better it is. Now, when you talk about Ivy Leagues, they will come in different ways. They may not come and put up a full-fledged campus here, but they may have research centers here. Harvard
or small programs.
Harvard already has a research center in India to look at case studies, to learn about it. University of Pennsylvania, my alma mater, has a center in India to do research and to learn what's happening here and to provide learning from here back to the university. Right. And so do a number of the other Ivy Leagues. Will they come and set up full-fledged campuses here? Time will tell. It may be for executive education first, but we should not wait. We can create our own universities.
Yeah, we don't need. I'm just saying, which day will they come? We don't need them anymore.
And we can partner with them, like you're saying. We can do programs with them. We can partner with them. We already have a number of partnerships with some of them, and we do talk about what can we do in India, but these things take time, as they should.
Great. So thank you so much for coming today and taking your time out. I really appreciate this, and I think this was really, really valuable.
Yes.
And you really have done India proud, and so has Amity University, and from your parents, your family, and the way I see you running around. I mean, you really are a true hero in my sense. So, and a champion for India's education and growth of the country.
Well, thank you, Angie. So and I'd say you're doing a great job. And
thank you.
The fact that you have called your programs Angie's India, I think is a wonderful thing, because all of us have this dream that how can our country rise and keep rising. Thank you.
And I wanted to make all the superheroes who made India proud, and you truly, truly are one in the sector.
Thank you so much, Angie.
So this is a small gift from my online, Angie Homes.
Oh, wonderful. That's no need for this, but thank you so much.
It's something very small.
There's some Homes. Thank you so much.
Some glasses for you. I hope you like them.
I think Divya will enjoy this, and the family will enjoy it, but thank you so much.
Them. So this was our guest, and a huge entrepreneur, a champion for India. You heard all what he had to say. You all can educate yourself in the best university, Amity, as well as go global through their brand. You've got all the help, you've got all the skills, you've got all the resources, you've even got funding. And you need to see how this gentleman has made this possible for you all. And it's to all the youth and all the young girls and all the boys who dream of having good education. You should say thank you to Aseem Chauhan. So look forward to seeing you on the next show. Thank you.